Today is going to be an incredibly scary day. This might come as a bit of a surprise to some of you out there, but today is actually going to be the first time we've ever seen our boat out of the water since we've owned it. As in, we have never seen the boat out of the water. Carly and I are both a little bit nervous with what we might find.
So I'm just out taking Hank for a walk, and I thought I'd quickly explain why we've never seen the hull of our boat. When we bought her, she was based in Peterhead, which is a marina that had no lift-out facilities, and especially something for our size of boat, the weight of her anyway. So we went off of the survey that was done by the previous owners and wasn't too old. So that explains why that today is a little bit scary and will be the first time we see the hull of Cadoa.
So, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being your worst nightmare come true, absolutely horrendous, and 1 being I'm over the moon, I feel like I've just about won the lottery. How do you feel now you've seen the boat lifted out of the water?
I'm gonna say 4 at the moment. I've only seen the boat from a distance, so you said that 1's like winning the lottery, so
As in really good.
yeah, I think from a distance she looks alright, but I've yet to have a close inspection to make sure there's no distance. Yeah, is that what you think?
Right, just quickly. The boat's coming out of the water, we are a little bit nervous. The thing that we're most nervous about is the osmosis issue, which we knew about going into. We knew about it firsthand. That factored into the price we paid for the boat. It also factored into how we divvied up our money for boatworks. So we put a very reasonable amount of money to one side after having a few quotes and doing a bit of investigating into how much it would cost to tackle osmosis. So we put that money to one side in a sinking fund. Sinking fund might not be the best choice of words there, into a protected savings account, or bottomless pit, as some people will call it. But we've put some money to one side to tackle the job. Now, the question for us is, once we get the boat out of the water and see how good, I don't know if that's the right word, or how bad it is it going to put the kibosh and everything right here, right now? Are we going to have to stop in our tracks and wait to get all the work done before we can go anywhere? Maybe, don't know. Or is it still fairly light in as much as the structure of the boat still feels strong and sound? We get the boat down south, get the boat hauled back out in a warmer climate and somewhere that we can really tackle what is going to be a pretty mammoth job, and that will be someone, either a specialist doing it or very extensive DIY job. But again, we haven't crossed those bridges yet. What we're really looking at now is this a right here, right now problem, or is this a kind of 6 months warmer climate, nicer location, take it out and get it fixed problem? We're not sure, but we are about to find out. Although not before not before taking Hank for a walk. Check this little tail, he's so lazy. You alright, mate? You ready for a walk? How bad is it? The dreaded osmosis. Let's go take a look. Okay. So we've got some blistering here. There's small amounts of sort of blisters all over the shop really. The worst case is here, this patch. As you get further forward, there's a lot less, but there are still little blisters here, there, and everywhere. So still plenty to be getting on with. We're going to consult, I think, some people that have got more experience and expertise in this than we have. I don't know exactly what it was that I imagined or we imagined, but it's not as bad as I thought it would be. But as I say, we're going to consult some experts, and then I strongly suspect that we're going to be heading south, down towards the south of Spain, something like that, and then take the boat out of the water in warmer climates. Although, regardless of how warm the climate is, I imagine this will still need gel planing off, and we'll need to use some sort of hot vac system to really make sure that we evaporate all the moisture out the hull, and then refairing, re-gel coat, and again, huge job, not a small amount of money. Right, just while Carly is down there checking out the extent of the osmosis damage, we have actually been doing a bit of a deep dive research-wise into this, trying to figure out our options, and we've been following some guys online who've been tackling an osmosis project themselves. The one that really springs to mind is Mads from Sail Life, who is tackling an osmosis project also on a Trident Warrior 38, as it happens.
Hi guys, welcome back aboard. Good old Athena.
Right, I thought I'd quickly steal the camera while Captain McCamerahog is having a shower, and I thought it'd be a good idea to tell you non-sailor friends of ours what osmosis is. So first and foremost, we have our fiberglass boat. Our fiberglass hull is protected by two main layers. First, barrier coat, second, gel coat. These two help to make the boat waterproof. Over time, tiny amounts of water molecules diffuse into and pass through the gel coat. These water molecules collect and condense in tiny voids found in the laminate of the boat. Without getting too sciencey, basically there are water-soluble components found in these voids which are left over from the manufacturing process. Long story short, the water within these voids dissolves and reacts within said components and forms a solution which is water absorbing. As this continues, pressure is built up and eventually a blister is formed. You basically end up with a boat that looks like it has chicken pox.
I don't know if we're seriously contemplating tackling the job ourselves, maybe. I don't know if we're quite that brave. But what would be really awesome is trying to find some osmosis specialists in and around the south of Spain, that would be amazing. If anyone's got any experience or knows of anyone that's had an osmosis treatment done in that part of the world, would love to hear about it. One of the issues that I'm most concerned about is the osmosis coming back post-treatment. So the boat that Mads is tackling had an osmosis treatment 8 years ago, and he's now having to do it again, which is, I don't know whether that's just unfortunate or shoddy workmanship or what really, but I'd really love to hear from anybody that's had the job taken care of and years down the line they're still osmosis free. So when we were searching across the internet, you know, the darkest little crevices of the internet, the worst case scenario, we were reading up on forums mostly, and we were sat scratching our heads thinking, is this osmosis thing going to sink our boat? Could this sink our boat? Is osmosis going to sink our boat? And then, you know, there were the sunnier uplands of the internet with sort of surveyors and shipwrights and people sort of saying, look, you know, osmosis isn't going to sink your boat. It is something you're going to want to take care of sooner rather than later, just from the point of view of the value of your boat, resaleability of your boat, but also, more importantly, you don't want the blisters to get too much bigger, you don't want too much more moisture in the hull, you don't want to risk some delamination issues, and then it's just much more of a pickle to try and sort out than it would be at an earlier point. That's where we are. That's the current issue of the day. We will look forward to your thoughts and feedback, and other than that, we will see you next time.